You know the trope where the tough, mysterious guy meets the sweetheart type of girl and suddenly turns into a softie? Oh boy, who doesn't even dig that? So here are the top 10 new romance anime where a bad boy falls for a good girl. Number 10, Yakuza's Fiancé.
翔馬と一緒だったから
どうかした？
なんでもない。
Imagine being engaged to someone you've never met just to keep your family powerful. Can't relate because you're not crazy rich? Still, that's the story of Yoshino Some, your average high school girl who meets her fiancé Kirishima Miyama for the very first time, who turns out to be strangely nice, at least at first. Soon enough, she learns that this charming prince has more in common with a Yakuza rather than a prince. Now she's stuck dealing with school bullies, a Yakuza fiancé, and a lot of drama.
あんた私のこと殺したいの？
ん？殺したい？吉野？
If chaos and drama had a child, it would be this anime, but not in a bad way. Of course, it's the type that'll keep you off your toes. No need to play a Subway Surfer video just to keep your attention. There's just something so addictive about Yakuza's Fiancé that keeps you hooked, making you want to know more and more about what happens in the next story. Number 9, Failure Frame.
これは何なのですか？あなたの世界では一般的な食べ物なのですか？
そうだもん。
失礼をしました。
Who knew you could find love in a world full of magic and with the lamest powers ever? That's Toka Mimori's life. He's summoned to another world with the weakest skills while surrounded by his powerful classmates. While this may seem like a disadvantage, Toka quickly discovers his magical skills and applies them strategically. Over the series, Toka forms a strong bond with his companion, Sarah Asharian, a mysterious sorcerer, and they eventually become a hot couple in the other world.
不思議な感覚。自分の中に彼の要素が混じり合っていくような。
While the anime primarily focuses on action and adventure, there are still some subtle romantic interactions between the main characters. The main character's subtle romantic moments with his love interest and character development make a truly satisfying watch. On top of that, Failure Frame blends unique dark fantasy, isekai elements, and a clever narrative to keep you hooked. So give it a try. Number 8, I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in naughtiness.
さあシャーロット、俺を思いっきり。
そんなことできません。
シャーロット。
アレンさんにはお世話になっていますし、殴るだなんて。
Dodging false blame and hiding in the woods, it's not a very noblewoman life Charlotte had in mind. But yep, she's a former noblewoman who was wrongly accused and left to fend for herself. After the hustle and bustle of running, Charlotte was found in a forest by Alan Crawford, the powerful sorcerer with a bad guy reputation but a soft spot. Charlotte relies on Alan despite knowing well he's a threat and proceeds to take his offer to work as his live-in maid. As they spend time together, Alan realizes Charlotte's struggles and sets out to show her the world of love.
それは悪いです。昨日はケーキもいただきましたし。
いいから。好きなものを買うといい。
When it comes to romantic stories, there should be a balance between heartwarming moments and the overall storyline. Luckily, this anime provides you with just that. Alan's reputation for being a baddie to a softie is another thing you'd love to see. The mix of rom-com, comedy, and fantasy genres makes this anime a must-watch. Number 7, Vampire Dormitory.
お前、なんて格好してんだよ。
だってこの格好ならルカが血を吸いたくなるかなって。
Just imagine, you're jobless, homeless, and drowning in desperation when a vampire shows up to your life to drink your blood and offer you shelter. Would you accept? Well, if you're as crazy as Mito, you would. Mito isn't wanted by the rest of her family, so she meets Ruka Saotome, a badass vampire who tastes her blood and offers her shelter. Mito finds a lot of handsome vampires under their shelter, but instead of swooning over her, they're all after her blood.
こんなにいい友達が2人もできて、今すっごい幸せだ。
Vampire Dormitory might remind you of Twilight, but more like an animated version. If you love vampire stories with humor and romance, you'd love to watch this anime. The unexpected bond between the characters, combined with Mito's twist of secret, adds thrill and humor to every interaction. Overall, Vampire Dormitory has a lot of quirky characters that'll make you wish they were real, making it a fun, lighthearted watch. Number 6, An Archdemon's Dilemma: How to Love Your Elf Bride.
そうかもしれないと思っておりました。ですので、どうぞ私の膝をお使いください。
膝枕だと。
I'll spend my entire fortune to make her mine. These are the thoughts floated in Zagan's mind when he found a gorgeous elf slave, Nephilia, at an underground auction. But the only problem is that this elf girl doesn't care about him. She was just bought as a slave, ready to serve her master. But as they spend more time together and face powerful enemies, the two start developing feelings for each other and live a happy life.
いかがでしょうか。
悪くないな。くすぐったいやら心地いいやら。
Stunning characters, comedy, romance, and adventure best describe an archdemon's dilemma. There are a lot of fantasy anime out there, but this one stands out with its humor and heart. The unexpected love story with slow romance makes you want to fast forward the story till you see the characters swooning over each other. The character designs are attractive. You may even fall in love with them. Number 5, the do-over damsel conquers the Dragon Emperor.
看病してくれるのか。
酔っ払いの看病は慣れてます。不安なら誰か呼びますか。
君がいてくれれば十分だ。
What if you find out your fiance is secretly dating his sister, and because of a heated argument, you get sentenced to death by the very same fiance? Talk about a plot twist. That's exactly what happens to Jill Serval, a 16-year-old who tries to escape misery, but ends up getting killed by her fiance and very first love, Prince Gerald der Kratos, the bad boy, for uncovering his forbidden romance. That's some royal drama, right?
君、実は僕が大好きだろう。
はい。
でなければ僕に生きてほしいだなんて言わない。
What's better than revenge stories where the protagonist comes back overpowered and smarter than ever? And if you love dramatic stories full of unexpected twists and turns and a strong-willed protagonist who gets to change her whole life after not-so-glamorous beginnings, this anime is perfect for you. The blend of romance, revenge, and fantasy makes the Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor an exciting series for fans, especially revenge-thirsty ones. Number 4, The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil.
本性を見せた時に言われたのは初めてじゃ。それにしてもこやつは本当にアホじゃ。あまりにもくだらないことを言うものじゃから。今は
What would you call the love story between a demon and an angel? Probably something like forbidden love, right? Wrong. In The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil, we get to see the hilarious and wholesome moments between the opposites Akutsu Masatora, a demon sent to Earth, and Liliamane, who happens to be an angel. With the fate of hell on the line and love between the opposites, their relationship turns into something interesting.
様はよく働いてくれたからの。その褒美をせねばと思ってな。取り乱して可愛いやつめ。
This anime is full of entertaining moments with a lot of supernatural action and high school drama. All the characters look and sound great, bringing them to life. The jokes are great, the rom-com's on point, the relationship doesn't feel forced. You may relate to this anime to Cromartie High School with a mix of competitiveness between the main characters, like in Kaguya-sama Love is War. Number 3, Seventh Time Loop.
その服装で何ら問題ない。
本当に？
俺からもお前の次女をよく褒めておく。行くぞ。
お待ちください。
Imagine having so many bad days that you master the art of bad luck. We're talking about Riche Imgard Weltzner, who died 6 times in wars and hopes to reincarnate as a peaceful individual living a drama-free life. But fate had other plans for her. Her former killer, Arnold Hein, also called the Crown Prince of the Galkine Kingdom, shows up and proposes to her. Now Riche must figure out why she was killed in the past, and for that, she'd have to stay close to Arnold. It's just as the saying goes, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
どうでしょう。見た目よりは甘いと思うのですが。
需要がありそうな味がする。
まあ、苦いお顔。
Seventh Time Loop has the best villainous anime currently produced. This anime is extremely underrated, with characters so good that they have kept their own deep personalities. Each character has a reason to act the way they do. No scene lacks in terms of animation, so you're gonna have a lot of fun watching it. Number 2, A Condition Called Love.
恋に人を悪い風に変えてしまう力があるなら、きっといい方向に変える力もあるって、君を見てるとそう思うよ。
Life can be pretty dull without romance, especially when it comes to an endless cycle of boring days. That's Hotaru's life until she helps out Saki Hananoi, an extremely handsome guy who's been dumped by his girlfriend. I mean, she'd have to be a crazy lady to abandon this piece of art. In a strange twist though, Saki asks Hotaru if she's ready for a trial relationship to see if they're a good match. Now that's smart. Now Hotaru's life is about to get a lot more complicated yet interesting.
ごめん、あまりにもホタルちゃん欠乏症で思わず。
私も寂しかった。
When it comes to tender romance that feels soft on your heart, a condition called love is the best. It captures the sad realities of the relationship between the main characters, and it doesn't hesitate to dive into the themes of youthful complexities, vulnerabilities, understanding each other, and emotional growth. If you're fond of deep stories with interesting characters, this anime is your pick. Number 1, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale.
書類を出せ。
シャル？
そのくらいのことやってやる。離れていたいか。
Have you ever wished to become a candy maker and eat all the candies without someone judging you? If so, then you're just like Annie Halford, a candy maker with big dreams. She wants to become Silver Sugar Master, and to make that dream come true, she decides to travel to the capital where she hires a grumpy but handsome fairy, Calais. But don't let his attitude fool you. He's actually a pretty great guy who will become the man of Annie's dreams.
熱でもあるのか。
なんでもない。相変わらずシャルはかかし呼ばわり。前よりちょっとは優しいけど。
This anime did a great job of portraying the adventures of our main character with a dash of fantasy and humor. Annie's journey to pursue her dream and meet the love of her life on the way makes it an entertaining and heartfelt story. If you love a little bit of magic, sweetness, and perhaps bad guy blended all in one, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale is the best new romance anime where the bad boy falls for the good girl.